So it's all peak. And I'd like to guide you into what I mean by all peak, and what this story means by all peak. Now that we're all here in this space, and welcoming all of us here, there's a fierce resolve, a fierce, positive, beautiful resolve of allowing all of you to be here. So I want to have everyone open their eyes. Just want to make sure everyone's doing okay. Kind of taking us on a long journey here right from the top. This is the last little part, and then we'll do a check-in. So we all know awareness or consciousness, at least in a spiritually unsophisticated way, as this emptiness that's behind our eyes and up here in this area. Before we knew anything about spirituality or non-duality or Zen or Advaita, we had this notion that conscious awareness was up here in the brain. So we're going to start there. This emptiness, this consciousness. We're located, be aware of it. So what we want to do is we want to picture this consciousness, and you can do this with your eyes open or closed, okay, as the size of your head, like it's a ball, okay, and it's in your head, okay? And take a few deep breaths. And we're going to increase the size of that ball to a beach ball. Okay, so your conscious awareness spreads out to about right here. Noticing, feeling. And then we're going to move the size of our awareness to that of this room. Okay? All the while relaxed and welcoming everything here. Your awareness is now expanded to the size of this room, and it's bled into everybody else that's in the room and everything that's in the room. Breathing, noticing. We're going to increase the size of this ball of awareness to the size of this building. Okay? Picture it as a sphere, and you're right in the center. The center remains you. Okay? And now we're going to picture this awareness as the size of Charlottesville. I'm going to jump way out. And you're still right at the center of this clear conscious awareness that's now pretty big. It's going to get bigger now because we're going to make it the size of Albemarle County. We take another step outward to the size of the state of Virginia. Okay? And you're still at the center and your awareness is that big. Further, the United States of America. Breathing. Now it's going to be easy to take big steps to the continent of North and South America. A whole Western Hemisphere. And now, keep breathing. Your awareness can expand to the size of the world. And you're right at the center. Now we're going to take it out to the moon. Now awareness is going to go to the size of our little solar system. Awareness goes beyond the solar system and into the spiral arm of our galaxy. From the spiral arm of the galaxy, it goes to the galaxy itself, the center of the galaxy, and millions of stars. Your consciousness is that. Now we're going to go beyond this galaxy. We're going to enter the deep void of space and hop over to another galaxy. And we're going to keep multiplying and we're going to keep going. And there's no end to it. Consciousness has no end. And now your life and who you are is not happening inside. Consciousness isn't happening inside of you. You're happening inside of consciousness. Life is happening inside of consciousness. And you're right at the center. And so am I, and so is the person next to you, paradoxically. So this is how deep the rabbit hole goes. Imagine the moon that you see normally from the ground. Shift a couple feet left to the moon. Imagine a dime next to the moon in your line of sight, okay? The Hubble Space Telescope just did a 4-month observation of a dime-sized size of space to see if there was anything there. They uncovered 15,000 galaxies in that one dime. In that one dime. And that's just in a 4-month period. So this is a realm. This is not a place. This is a realm of consciousness. And you're right at the center. You're it. There's no other place to go. You're dreaming this dream. I also want to point something else out about self-awareness and consciousness. I have no idea what it is. And I would say that you're probably hard-pressed to tell what it is also. It's a complete mystery. You can call it self with a small s or with a large s. You can call it consciousness. You can call it God. You can call it Atman. The Alpha, the Omega. However you would like to give it a name. It's still a mystery. There's no consciousness neuron that they've discovered yet. So it's a bit overwhelming to this little part of us that wants to remain in the dark to realize that. To realize that there is no you separate from that one. There's no big self, there's no low self, there's just this. So don't confuse consciousness with being a big self. It loses all size. Or a small self. You can kind of throw that in the spiritual garbage. It's just a mystery. It's just a mystery. And being comfortable with that mystery and not knowing is a very large part of spiritual awakening. So thank you for following me through these little mysterious anti-techniques. I will now gently lob the tennis ball into your all's court.
share that it feels really different this time. That in the middle of yoga last week, I was shifted into the realm of what I call the realm of now, and it felt like a place. It felt like I just stepped across the line, and I was there, and it was only now, and it was really comfortable. And living with only the now also was the eternal now, which was this now goes on eternally. And I understood that in some way, even though all there was now. And it was just really cool. Oh, this is a place. This place, it felt like truth. It was the truth of that place anyway.
Mm.
It didn't last very long, but it was like I understood.
Mm.
Nothing but this moment.
Mm. And you felt it too.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful part. Feeling it here is really where the golden ticket is, so to speak.
It felt pretty golden.
Mm.
But simple. It was just, yeah, it was just, aha. Here it is.
And now?
Well, I noticed when we did the body exercises that I felt like my body was melding into one. I mean, you were having us hone in on areas, and I was doing that, but also I felt like it was all kind of melting away.
Yeah.
Not in any kind of whoa way, but
yeah.
like, oh, okay, I was more feeling the energy maybe, and instead of, yeah, it's not as profound. I mean, I feel comfortable and at ease, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But being in that now place felt very profound.
Yeah. And it's a bit of a mystery when you're doing yoga, if you're doing meditation, if you're doing work like this, when the body catches up to it. When the body or our emotions get to where this wants to be, right? Or at least in the sense of that this has a longing to be met. It sometimes takes some catch-up time. Again, as I said earlier, the body has its own speed, its own wisdom. I have found, or I did find, that really the only real remedy that worked for me was to exercise this muscle over and over again. Not because I was like going to the gym and I was trying to, let me get to the point. I did it because I liked doing it. Because I loved going to satsang. Because I knew that going to satsang was just this beautiful chance to drop the story and to be present and to relax here. And in the beginning, it would fade afterwards, but I just kept doing that. And there are some times on the path, when you just feel like, God, I've just been doing this forever. A friend of mine called it radical gradualism, or radical gradualism, where you have these long, gradual, slow periods of growth, and you have this radical move forward. and then a long, slow period of, and that was very true in my own case. Where it's just like you just get in these gradual ruts, and you're just like, oh. But it's nice if you keep going to the water well. Eventually, you're going to be sated. And how do you orient that with effort and trying to get there? I don't know. There has to be a little allowance for a little bit of paradoxical effort. I don't think that you can just. I think in a wise way, in a letting go way, there can be an anti-technique or an anti-effort, and that's what I found coming to these satsangs. And then I too, Jen, combine physical exercise, yoga, whatever. I just didn't expect to get anything from the yoga classes other than I wasn't going there to get enlightenment or anything. I was going there to exercise my body and to sweat it out. But that's a very powerful combination, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. That's where I seem to have those moments of.
Yeah. You've had them before.
Yeah.
And it's great. Next time you have it, okay, in that yoga class, which one is you can bring a bottle with you, okay? Put a cap on that thing, all right? And then it's there for you all week long. You just take a little sip between.
Well, there was this understanding of, I can be here at any time.
Yes.
But I don't know how to do that.
Right.
It was like this place is here. It's always here. It exists. I don't know how to move into it, but I know that it is. It's hard to have words about it, but that it's more true or more real or
happier.
Or none of that, but it's there.
Yeah.
It's there.
Well, it's here right now, and you're there right now, and I'm not going to throw out a "you're already there" cliche. I'm totally okay with you not being there, and so is the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And so we let that go too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah. So I think one of the hallmarks of my own journey was like I really owned up wherever I was. If I wasn't, pardon my French, if I wasn't fucking awake, then I wasn't going to pretend to be awake. If I didn't feel like I was here, then I wasn't going to pretend it. It wasn't till it's like the whole time I was like, what is it that guy has that makes him want to raise his hand and say, I'm awake and here's what you do. What is that? I always, because I had so much contact with so many teachers, I figured there's got to be something to that. It's too much effort to be bullshit in the world teaching this stuff. There's got to be something to it. There's got to be some reality to it that makes that person be able to do this, to raise their hand and go, done. And so I held out for that, and I was true to that, and I didn't. If I had a nice period of bliss that came and went, well, it came and it went. I wasn't trying to hang on to it. Now it's gone, and now I don't feel so happy anymore. I feel contracted again, and I feel like a miserable son of a bitch again, and I am that. And I think that's real. I think that's okay, and that's welcomed. We're not pushing. This is the idea of the exercises. We're not pushing any of our shadow away. You welcome all of that shadow as you go along, and then guess what? Oops, unfortunately, you've also got to welcome shadow into awakening while you're awake. It's just that shadow, this, I've done this a million times. Shadow's no longer pilot. Shadow's back here. How did I get started on that?
You did mention about how slow the body is.
Yeah.
I periodically feel a lot like, wow, I really move slowly. Like my natural state is way more slow than what I'm going, or living, or I'm really aware of that. I don't think I honor it very much, but I am really aware of it.
It's really difficult to honor slowness when we live in a world, and we live in a Western hemisphere that is going 1,000,000 miles an hour, mentally, literally in our cars, energetically. You know how many, just in the last 10 seconds, how much radio wave has just passed through your body at the speed of sound, speed of light? I mean, it's no wonder we have a hard time slowing. This is why retreat's important. Well, it's important to get the hell out of Dodge and to go to some place where, you're in a sacred space that isn't in that mess. That's slowed down. That's why most retreat centers, of course, are in nature. Because that's what we're doing. We're invoking the natural speed of the body, nature. We're invoking it. It's not divorced. And that's what's great about taking a vacation, taking some time to be present. It's not always a requirement. You can find presence in the middle of New York City. You can. It's just that us blue-collar folks, more than likely, it's going to take a little bit of padding and a little bit of solitude and a little bit of quiet time every now and then to get in touch with that.